All right, we're live. We are live. We are live. Welcome, everybody. Welcome to the Illmindzpodcast, man. If you ain't ill, you ain't real, man. Today's going to be a very interesting topic, man. We're going to be talking about mental health and just how can we overcome it? What can we do to get through it? It's a battle every single day, man. Even I battle it every single day, man. Like for me, I'm coming from a very personal perspective, but I also want to hear a lot of you guys' thoughts. If anybody's in the chat or anything, just want to be able to understand that we as individuals fight our own battles. We fight our own demons. It's a day-to-day process, and we constantly just have to keep on going, no matter what. It's hard. Society has made us to the point that we can't really focus on those things sometimes, and we just have to dwell in it and understand that I'm going through this right now, but maybe I have to put my mental health on pause. And I feel like some people do that. I feel like we do put our mental health on pause, because we're trying to deal with these other things that are coming our way. And sometimes we're just trying to focus on it now instead of focusing on what's going on, in our minds day to day. But we also have to take our time just to, sit down and really think and meditate and understand, what can I do to better myself? I always look at mental health as a more of a personal a personal battle, because it is personal. Anyway, anytime, that's the thing that really makes sense, because sometimes we as individuals don't really understand the circumstances that we're putting ourselves in at times. That's how I feel. But there also is circumstances where you can't avoid it, and it's hard to fight that battle. It's kind of like, for example, like if I'm in a situation where like there's a bunch of gang violence around me. If I live in a hood and it's a bunch of gang violence around me, and I'm trying to better myself through that, but seeing people get hurt, seeing people get robbed, steal, killed, my psyche is gonna deal with that. It's the same thing with dudes in the military. Once they go in and they go to war, and they see a lot of these things that are happening to them, it's traumatizing. And those are things that you can't avoid because you've seen those events, and battling through those events constantly in your mind when you dream about it, when you are gazing, when you're sitting there dazing and thinking about things, some of those thoughts run through your mind, and it's hard to like push through that at all. Like one thing I have to say, that what keeps me going every single day for my mental health is just thinking about, it's cliche, but it is, thinking positive about the things that we're going through. Like, all right, I got things going on with work. I got things going on in my mind. I'm like, all right, I'm not going anywhere right now. About to turn 27 tomorrow, right? I'm like, all right, I haven't been in the same place that I've been before, but it's a better place than what I was when I was 21. So let's be honest about that. I got my own place with my woman, and I push myself to do things like doing this podcast. It's very nerve wracking doing it, realizing that you're not probably gonna get enough viewers, get enough clout or whatever, things that go through your mind because you want to succeed so badly. But once I keep striving for that, if I think about the positive aspect behind it, where is, some of the results I'm going to get is I'm going to feel better about myself because I'm pushing myself to do these things that are better for me. And once I focus on those goals and those positive aspects that I'm putting onto my life, my mental health is going to be a little bit better. That's how I feel, because if we dwell in the negativity and we can avoid it, that's the thing. If you can avoid negativity, then don't put yourself in that circle then. Because that's the thing. It's kind of like it's like insanity, and you keep on doing the same thing over and over, expecting a different result. If you keep on going to these negative aspects, thinking there's going to be some positive outcome towards it, then you're doing something wrong. Then if it's putting you in a mental state where you can't handle it, or constantly, or you're constantly just like dwelling upon the thought of, it's always the same shit every single day. It's like, no, like you can avoid that. You can. If you see things not going your way because of the actions that you created and you're putting yourself in that stage, then you have to do something about it. But like I said, everything is different though. Everybody battles different aspects of life. And certain events occur to certain individuals. And honestly, if I'm not coming from the same book as you, I shouldn't judge you for that. I shouldn't at all. I just feel as if it's personal towards you, you can push through it. It's gonna be a battle. And nobody's like, disregarding the fact that, certain traumatic events or certain things that happen way more than what it would do for me. If the same, if like I said, like if we have 5 people, right? If we have 5 people going through the same event, it's gonna impact that person differently. Every single individual is going to be impacted differently upon the event that occurred, that same event. And honestly, that makes sense because that's the whole point of us being different. We're a different type of race. We don't go through the same things every single day. We don't fight the same battles. We don't think about the same things. Sometimes things weigh on you so badly. It's hard. Like it's kind of like we sit there every single day and we just say to ourselves, I'm gonna get through it. I'm gonna get through it. But what are we doing to better ourselves to make sure that us as people and just like and the camaraderie that we can build with others to help each other go through these things is big. That's one thing I always say. Reach out to somebody. It always is like the biggest thing. Getting a second opinion about what you're going through, because that person's advice can probably help you. It may not be the best advice, but it's something that they went through that's similar to you, and especially if it resonates with you and it's accurate to what you're going through, you're gonna listen. And that's the main thing that we all need to understand, that we have to listen at times. There are things that a lot of people go through that can give us some good insight on what to do to overcome it. And what we do is it's more of how we take it and how we personalize with it and how we make it into our own method. It's the same thing with like sports or like artists, music and everything. You become inspired from what other people say to help push you through your success. It really is like a motivational speaker or a sports star that speaks highly on certain things. It pushes you. It pushes you and makes you a better person, which overall makes you better mentally. That's what it is. Like I see a lot of these dudes, they do podcasts, do constant podcasts, and I'm inspired by that. And I'm thinking to myself, I talk a lot. I talk a lot of shit. So I'm like, why not better myself by doing something like this on this platform? Like that's the main thing that's gonna help me going. Yes, it was a battle because it's nerve wracking. It's like, will people understand me? Or will people, be open to certain discussions like this that are very touchy? And it's more like, what? To help me better myself and to learn from everybody that responds to these, thoughts that I have, it betters myself because I'm going to be optimistic about it. I'm going to understand and take in the data and realize, okay, you know what? Now I understand what other people go through. And that's the main thing I always say to myself. I'm like, you never know you never know the circumstances until you put yourself through them. And that's the main thing that I remember when I was young. I used to just be single-minded. Certain things. Oh, it's this way. You could get through it. You could do this. But once I'm in that stage of, being like mentally drained from certain things that are happening in my life, I shut the hell up and I just said to myself, damn, now I know what that person went through. I'm like, dude, it's hard as hell. I've seen people go through depression, personally. I've seen it. It's a bad experience to look at, to even see it. And imagine going through it. That's the main thing I try to avoid. I try to make sure that I don't put myself in that it is a medical condition. So I'm just saying I would never try to put myself in that realm of being in a depression. And what I do is I make sure that I do something that's going to make me happy. That's what we have to do. We have to find that one thing that out of all the other spaces that we're in, that one space makes us whole. It makes us better. It makes us feel good. Like, all right, I can battle all these different events and all these different people that I'm encountering constantly every day because I have to. But when I'm in this space, it makes me feel as if there's hope. There is light. And I will find that light through this space that I'm in. A lot of people that do dancing. There's a lot of people that when they dance, they say, that is my space, that's my world. Nobody is in it. Even when they perform, they don't see anybody in the crowd sometimes. Some of them say that. I don't see nobody in the crowd. All I see is me dancing and just silence. And I'm just dancing and I'm just living my life through that. Because that's the only space that I feel myself in. And that's what it is, and that's what we go through constantly. We're trying to find that space where it makes us comfortable through all these others, throughout these other things that I'm doing. You go to work, and if you don't like your job, that doesn't help your mental health at all. Because if you don't like your job, you already wake up with the mindset of, I hate this job. Why the hell am I even going to work? Because you have to. And the fact that you have to is already mentally draining enough. Now when you get home, oh, I have to do my laundry. Oh, I have to pay these bills. And then it's like, I have to pay these bills and I don't even like the job that I work at, but it pays the bills. So you suck it up. That's basically what it is. You suck it up. And that's what we do constantly. Not everybody, but that's what we as people do. We go through that once in a while. There's certain things that we don't like to do that we're gonna do. And people are more confident than others. People are more sustained to doing certain things that they don't like. But I understand that people that are like, I'm not going to do that because it's not going to make me succeed. It's not going to make me feel good. So I'm not going to do it at all. I don't care. I don't got to suck it up. I've known of a plethora amount of people that would tell me when they go to work, they're like, look, man, I don't give a damn about this job. I just work because I'm just trying to collect this check. And then I ask them, I'm like, okay, so why don't you just find something else? And it's like, well, what am I supposed to do? This job pays me good enough to where I can pay my bills. And then constantly, if you keep saying that to yourself, that means you are accepting the fact that you're gonna put yourself through something that's not gonna make you feel good. I'm like, you can't. In my head, I'm like, you can't do that. But the reality side of me is like, no, it makes sense. And it's like, you have to accept it. You have to accept the fact there's things that you can't avoid. Like people say, it is what it is. And it is. It is true. There's certain things that are just laid flat on the ground and they're never going to change. They're going to stay on that ground and they're never going to move. And that's the main thing that we go through constantly. I know myself, I always tell myself, I'm like, dude, I want to do better for myself. I want to be 35, 40 years old and be happy, like genuinely happy. I don't care what circumstances I'm going through. As long as I'm genuinely happy and I'm mentally stable enough to go through these events with no intention of being angry at the end of it. That's the goal that everybody wants to meet. Like, don't everybody want to wake up and look in the mirror and go, damn, I feel good. Like genuinely, like not trying to like force yourself and not trying to motivate yourself to be happy. Like, you wake up and you're just happy with what life has given you and what you've gone through constantly. Our mental, mental health is such a big part of everything. It shows, it shows in your music. It shows in your stature. It shows in your posture. It shows through every single thing that you go through. Your mental health is the most important thing. Your brain is the most important thing in your body, except for your heart. You know what I'm saying? But the brain needs to help everything function in order for your heart to pump, right? So that's the thing. The heart can still be pumping, but if you're not functioning, letting the blood flow through, your brain is the most important thing. Feed your mind with so many good things that eventually you will see you'll see the light at the end of the tunnel. You will. Every single thing that you go through, you'll see positivity in it. And I know a couple of people that are like that. Coming from a state from being a New Yorker, everybody's always, uptight all the time. Always catching attitude for any little thing, impulsive. I'm guilty of that too. But then there's also a few people that's like, I see positive in things. Like I know when somebody has a real good mindset and a good heart. Sometimes I can usually see through how they interact with people, and they go, "Oh, he's a jackass. Oh, he's an asshole," and all that. And they're like, you know what? Maybe he's just like maybe there's something in there that's just like bothering him, and he doesn't want to let nobody know. Because maybe it's just like you become an asshole and mean sometimes. There's very few that are naturally just like that. But then there's also some that, they've gone through so many things in their life that they have no tolerance for certain things. So they act like an asshole because or the people or the events that they went through influenced them to act that way now. Now it's become a stamp on their personality. Now they're like, look, no. Like you know how people, there's certain things that they don't tolerate and they don't like and they act like an asshole when it does happen and they don't accept it. Go, hey, you know what? You're used to doing that. I don't like doing that. I shouldn't be acting like an asshole towards you about that. You know, like it's something for you to get accustomed to when you're around me. And that's what it is. You know, we don't talk about what we need to talk about. You know, people that talk about, oh, hey, how's you? Like, I hate when people go like, you know, well, I don't hate. I highly dislike when I'm actually genuinely trying to ask you about your day and you just tell me, oh, it was good. And it was like this. You know, and I'm saying, and I meant to say that if we're both genuinely good friends and you're constantly keep telling me, yo, it's good, I'm all right, you know, no, you need to talk. You need to talk. But then there's the other side where that says, I don't think you will understand. Like the person that's going through this stuff is saying, I don't think you will understand what I'm going through. And hearing what you have to say probably is not going to help. And also there's that's the thing. There's so many plethora of reasons. It's like why people don't want to interact about their problems. Like, they don't have nobody. They had nobody to turn to, and now you're trying to be genuinely a caring person to them, and they're not used to that. And then they're like, I'm not sure if I should open up like that. And that's hard. And that's a battle within yourself. You know, you have to just open up and know that, all right, this person really does care. I'm going to just let them know what I'm going through so it can help me feel better. And hopefully they give me advice or they just, or they're just there to listen and to understand me and go, you know what? Okay, we can go through this. I'm going to help you out if you need help, and everybody wants that. I believe mental health wouldn't be such a big thing in terms of people just going through so many different types of trauma or just depression and everything. If we just all genuinely listen to each other, I think, I'm not saying that mental health would be erased completely, but I'm saying, it'll be less and less cases of people going through a lot of things like this. Like I'm always constantly battling something. But if we all just genuinely just like each other, which is not a reality, it's a fantasy, but I believe that, if we all just came together and understood everything that we're going through, people will feel so much better. Like, you ever wanted to, I know people always feel as if I need to find a group that understands me. That's why you have cliques. That's why certain people are like, yo, I click with this person so much because they understand me so much. And when I'm around this person, it just makes me feel like I'm me. Like, I have no restrictions of what I have to say. I have no hesitancy with thoughts in my head, for me to say to him, me to say to her, they make me feel comfortable. They make me feel like if I'm in this realm, I'm good. Like, that's the biggest thing that I appreciate from other people, I always try to be that person too, but I always appreciate people that want to listen and understand and give me reasons and give me responses that, and the thing is that I appreciate people that keep it real. I do. I think everybody appreciates that. I think when you're a person that can just go off the top and not be able to think about it and understand, like, yo, look, I'm here for you, bro. Like no hesitancy, not even thinking about it or anything. Like, I tell you everything I'm going through and you go, yo, look, man, I'm really here for you. Like, I'm really down, bro. Like, don't worry about it. Like, whatever you're going through, I'm going through with you. And it takes a lot. It takes a lot for a person to say that, and to genuinely stand behind those actions. That's the thing. People like to talk, but they don't like to walk it. And you got to be honest with yourself about that. And that's the thing. It's a pretty big thing. I've never, like, me personally, in my life, I've always felt as if, would I ever be accepted? Will I gain confidence in myself? Will I understand that, I'm not going to be the guy all the time? Like, will I, that's the thing. Because if you have a big personality, you want to shine more. You want to show more. You want people to know that, look, like, I'm the shit. And when you don't get that feedback as a confident person, it weighs on you. It weighs on you way more than what a person is like, I don't really need the fame. Like, I'm good. I'm cool about it, But when you're a person that wants it bad, and you're not seeing those results quickly, you're like, I need that. And, you mentally, me personally, mentally, I break myself down. I'm like, nah, I'm not good enough for that then. Whatever, I'll quit. You know what I'm saying? It's like you go through that and you tell yourself, nah, I'm done. And then there's times where you do quit and you're like, should I? And then when you think about it, you're like, should I have done that? Whatever. I wasn't doing good in it anyway. You already, and you see what you're doing. You're already blocking yourself from potential. You already blocking yourself from potential, and like it's such a big thing when it comes to just you yourself. Mental health is really just you. What happens to you, what you do to get over it. How do you overcome? It's always you. Even when you go to a therapist, when you go to a psychologist, anybody, and you talk to somebody, they say you have to battle through this. That's basically what they're telling you. They give you advice and everything, but the end result is for you to overcome it. Because if you don't, you're going to stay in the same spot that you're in. You're not going to see anything if you don't do something about it. It's real. You can see all the medical professionals. You can see the best advice ever. If you don't take that or understand it to the point where, you know what, I have to just suck it up right now. Meaning, like, I have to just suck up this, whatever I'm going through, battle it, kill it, and become a whole new person. Meaning being yourself. Because when you're going through like hard times and stuff, you're not really yourself. You're not. When you're going through a lot, it shows in interaction with your friends, your family. They see it. Especially people that pay attention to you. They see it. They're like, yo, you're not yourself, Like, you're not really this, this happy or, genuine, spirit that's around us. You feel the energy, and that's how some people are. Some people that read the room know, hey, this person's going through something. And it's up to you, that person, that's the friend, to talk to them. Because it's hard when you feel as if they won't understand. It's like, no, just talk to me. I probably will understand. It's the possibility that you need to, take advantage of. Like, these been my friends, this been my family, and they've been holding me down for years. I should talk to them about this. Don't be scared about it. I had to go through that for a minute. There were times where there's certain things I didn't want to talk about. And I was telling myself, I don't want to do it. I don't want to do it. And then it's like, wait, but then I say to myself, it's like, but what am I gaining out of it? Like, what am I gaining out of not saying anything to anybody? Like, I'm going to find the advice myself. Because at the end of the day, who are you going to search for? Well, you're going to search through the internet and get advice from there? Probably, maybe, if it really does help. But I always say, physical and physical interactions with people and seeing the genuine responses from their face and seeing that they're really not there for sympathy. They're not there for pity. They're really there to help you. Like, yo, I'm really here to help you and make you understand that you got this. Because at the end of the day, like I said, they can give you the best advice in the world. If you don't take that advice or the information that they're giving you, if you're going to scrap it and try to battle it through your own, go ahead and do it. And I hope that you get through it. Because that's what I did. Like, I didn't really, like, come to people. I asked people advices about a friend that wasn't really my friend. It was just me. And I was just asking just to see, like, am I bugging? Am I really going through this? And I'm just, like, putting myself in this shell because I just feel as if I feel as if I'm not, like, good enough or anything. And it's like, you know what? Do I really want to feel like this for a long time? No, I don't. I know everybody else doesn't, because that's just the main thing that I would say to myself. What am I going to do to make sure that when I wake up, I'm happy? At least genuinely happy, Like, I may not be happy with my life, but at least me, myself, I'm happy with who I am. And that's why I'm happy when I see people say, look, accept me for me. If you can't deal with me, then I can't be your friend. Or I can't be associated with you. Because I see that as confidence. Yes, if you're a toxic person or you have a bad personality, then there's things that you yourself have to, to evaluate, but that's up to you. But genuinely, if you just are a caring person and you have certain things that you go for, that you want, you're going to tell people, look, this is who I am. If you can't accept me for that, that's fine. I will find people that will accept me for that. And that's the confidence I love. I love to hear. Like, I will find people. I will find that group, and I will search for it, and I will get it because I want that. I need that for my life. When you know that your mental health is so important to yourself, that you need people around you to make sure that you're sane, that what you go through is important. That's an amazing feeling. And there's also people that don't need people to feel good, and that's something to admire also. Like, I don't care if my family don't accept me or nobody accepts me or nobody really. I'm happy with myself, and I don't care as long as I'm real with myself. I don't care what anybody thinks. And honestly, I'm just being realistic. I think that's a very few amount of people in this world that can really be by themselves and not care about what anybody thinks and happy and as happy as ever with their life. I think it's very few, but hey, that's coming from my perspective. That's all it is. You got, there's so many other things with our mental health, like having an attention span, like ADHD, ADD, attention deficit disorder. That's one thing that I battled through a lot. Like, when I was young, I never focused. I was impulsive. I did a lot of, I did a lot of crazy things when my parents were like getting me riled up, and I used to just be impulsive, just not pay attention, just psych out. I used to just not deal with things. Those are medically, diagnosed. And I had to battle through that. And what's the craziest thing? Like, I still go through it to this day, a little bit, but I've overcame a lot of it. Like, I was very bad. And I used to take like pills and stuff like that, just to try to help me out. And honestly, I told myself that I'm not trying to take these pills no more. I don't need, like I told myself, I don't need something to help me focus. I'm gonna try to find something that helps me focus, that helps me want to do it every single day, all the time. I always told myself that. I said, I don't need this. Okay, cool. It's gonna happen once in a while. Okay, cool. You medically diagnosed me as having ADHD or ADD, whatever it is, But I told myself, you know what? What the hell am I doing taking these pills? I was like, nah, F that. And the reason why I'm saying this is because I told myself, what am I going to do to get through this? Because they're saying that, I'm going to have the rest of my life, I'm going to, deal with these impulsiveness. These impulsive events, and I might just go through an episode at times, stuff like that. But I was like, nah, I'm not going to put myself through that. I'm not going to tell myself, you know what? Oh, I have ADHD. Oh, I have this. I'm like, you know what? I have it, and I'm going to overcome it. And I have a lot. Like, I remember when I told myself, I was like, yo, I'm going to go back to school. Because that was the main thing. That was the main problem that they said about ADHD. They said, oh, you ain't going to be able to focus at school. You're not going to be able to do this. I go to college. Sorry. I would go to college. I wasn't in college for like 4 years when I got out of high school, like 4 or 5 years. And I was like, you know what? In 2018, I said, you know what? I'm going to go to college. And honestly, that thought in my head, as I said, I was putting doubt in my head already, and I was already messing with myself cerebrally, like, oh, I don't think I'm able to do it because how am I going to be able to focus? I haven't been to school in so long. I'm not gonna be able to focus. I'm probably just gonna get distracted so easily, and I'm just gonna fail. But then I said to myself, I said, you know what? I don't know until I put myself in them circumstances. I have to see it. And that took a lot of confidence. It took a lot of confidence for me to say, you know what? I'm gonna go to school. I don't care. I'm gonna go to school, and I'm gonna do this without no help. I'm gonna do it by myself. 95% of the time. In reality, you do need some assistance at times, but like from friends and people that can help you out. I went to school and I got my associate's degree. I graduated with a 3.7 GPA. And I remember when I was in high school and all that, I couldn't focus. I really couldn't. And I knew it was because of that condition, or maybe it's just me accepting that condition and going, oh, it's made easy. It's acting up. No, I got to be like, you know what? You got to shut the hell up and just understand that you have this. Are you going to accept it, or are you going to overcome it, or are you going to do something about it? And when I went to college, I did something about it. I said, I focused. I told myself, I am going to do great in school, and I'm not going to regret it. And I did. It took a lot of hours. It was a lot of stress that was going through my mind. It was a lot of doubt. I remember my first semester, I was like, oh, this is too much. I don't think I'm gonna be able to do it, but I pushed through. And my family, my woman, and everything. Like I literally told myself, I literally told myself, I said, yo, I did it. Like, get the hell out of here. 3.7, bro. Like I did my thing, and I told myself, nah, man, I can't do this. And that was wearing on me for a minute because there were certain assignments that were doing 10, 15 page papers. I'm like, dude, I'm not gonna be able to focus by myself in my home to do this. And I'm already putting it down in my head. That was draining me a lot. Like every time I get to like a first page or the second page, I'm like, nah, bro, I ain't gonna do it. Nah, I can't. And I'm like, whoa. And then I'm hearing from other, my family, my woman, my friends are like, yo, bro, you got this. Like, just keep doing it. I'm like, you know what? I needed that. I'm like, you know what? I can't do this. Just push through. Like you always say, push through. And that's every event that you go through. It's just how it is. Our confidence and our personality matter so much, and our actions too. The actions that we put behind those ideals that we have for ourselves. It's just, we got to move. We got to move confidently. We got to march down there and say, yo, I'm gonna take this and I'm gonna grab it. I'm gonna grab it by the freaking horns and I'm gonna take over. I'm gonna do my thing. And that's a wonderful feeling to have. I overcame it. I graduated with school with good grades. I was on the dean's list. I was on the honors. I was lit. I was dead ass lit. I was like, yo, this shit feels good. It's like, damn, I can't tell myself how many times I was like, yo, dude, I can really do this. And that's what we all need. We all need a certain event in our life to push us mentally so hard to when we overcome it, we feel like 100 times better. And the result of that is for you to say to yourself, dude, come on. If you could get through that, nothing else can really beat you. When you feel immortal, like you can overcome every situation, that's confidence all the way. Nothing can stop you after that. And that's why a lot of people succeed now. A lot of artists, a lot of people that do business, they know it's going to be troublesome mentally. It's going to be troublesome, and then it's going to put you through things that's just going to it's going to hit you like a ton of bricks, and you're like, damn, wow, all right, I'm going through this right now. It sucks. My business is going down. I'm not finding ways to help it succeed, and I ain't shit. Like that's what we're saying. I ain't shit. Like I'm not going to be nothing. You're like, no. You got to tell yourself, there is a way. There's always a way to overcome things. There's certain people that go cold turkey with smoking cigarettes, doing drugs. And that's mentally and physically wearing on your body. Because you're so used to being addicted to doing these things. And that's the same thing. It can become an addiction when it comes to negativity in your mind. You constantly keep thinking these bad things, these bad thoughts all the time. You're never going to overcome it. It becomes an addiction. You start doing it. You're never going to overcome it unless you say to yourself, I got to stop this shit. I got to. And maybe there's things that you're doing in your life that's bringing those thoughts to your head. And if it's not, then I can't really say much about that. That's something that we got to, that we as a group and we as a community just got to understand. Like, yo, there's people that just can't get these, just can't fight their demons and they need help. And sometimes some people don't. Some people don't go through it. They're miserable. They're miserable not from just like, oh, you constantly keep putting yourself there. No, there's certain events out there that you just can't avoid. Like you've seen somebody like die, or like the amount of depression that you're going through is so hard. It's so hard to overcome. There's people that are diagnosed with like severe anxiety, and that's so hard because your mind. Your mind is constantly just going through these motions of like I can't really explain because I haven't really gone through like severe anxiety, but I've seen people that have gone through it, and it's scary seeing that once they overthink things, it gets so bad to the point that they start hyperventilating, they're panicking and stuff like that. Everybody has anxiety. I believe everybody has some type of anxiety all the time. If you don't, hey, that's you. That's you. I fully respect that. But I believe everybody has some anxiety for certain things that they partake in or that they see. They're like, oh, it gets me anxious. It's like I get a little bit of anxiety when somebody's doing something like that. It's the same thing with like when somebody is bipolar. There was one question about bipolar too, but I'm gonna address it after I say something about bipolar. But bipolar, it's like you can't control those emotions sometimes. It just goes from, you go from happy to mad real fast. Like you like, you know how some guys be saying, yo, my girl be tripping, bro. She get happy, and all of a sudden I say one thing, she just spaz. The same thing with a girl. Like, yo, my boyfriend, he be happy one time, and then all of a sudden I go to the kitchen and I put and I like slap his butt or something, he gets crazy tight to the point that, but the fact that he doesn't like it too. But I'm saying, like, he gets so mad to the point that you think that you like disrespected him to the utmost, to the utmost length. Like, you're like, it's over the top. You're like, dude, you gotta chill. Like, okay, I did that. You didn't like it, but you didn't have to like react like that. There are some people that just don't like certain things like that, but there is a condition where it's like you don't know how to control your emotions. You'll get blatantly disrespectful out of nowhere. Like, you be incredibly impulsive with your emotions, and you're just going back and forth, like boom, boom, boom. You're going happy, mad, then sad, then crying. You're like, whoa, what's going on? That's a tough battle to beat. It is. Mental disorders are very, very. It's very hard to go through it, by yourself. That's why with people that have like mild symptoms of these disorders, like they're not as severe as others. You can try to battle through it on your own. But when you're really mentally diagnosed and you have a condition, it's the hardest things ever. That's one of the hardest things I've ever seen people like try to go through without medication. I'm not saying you need to take medication, but some people say they need it. Like if I don't take this pill, like I start going crazy. I can't do anything. It's the same thing with somebody that doesn't smoke cigarettes. You know what I'm saying? Like, somebody that's a real heavy chain smoker, and he doesn't smoke a cigarette for like 4 or 5 hours. He start getting mad about any little thing because he just needs that cigarette because it makes him feel good. Well, his body just needs it, and it makes him feel good. Like, I got the cigarette in my damn body. My bad. And, I know some people like that. Like, once they got their cigarette or their coffee, they're like, oh, my bad for saying what I had to say to you, man. I just didn't have my coffee. Even though honestly, me, I'm just keeping it real. I think it's pure bullshit for you to act like an asshole, act like a dick because you don't have, because you don't have your coffee or whatever drug that you taking or you didn't drink. Like, oh, I didn't drink. I'm alcohol, but I didn't drink, so I'm anxious, I'm mad or stuff like that. Honestly, I think it's pure bullshit. I think you just but there are some people like that where you do see that they're kind, genuine people, and once they don't have something in their life that they used to have in every single day, they're like, oh, they start getting antsy and stuff like that. But I don't know. Like, does that show like your true personality? Does it? Oh, is it because of the addiction? It's the same thing with the mental disorder. Like, if you don't have these pills, like, this is who you like this is who you this is who you are as a whole because you had this condition. You got it when you was young, and it hasn't stopped since then. And now you need something to help regulate your behavior because you're going through something that's just constantly just a battle all the time. Yeah, and honestly, you need to seek help at times. Yeah, with mental, like if you're going through something really bad to the point that you can't battle it and nobody else can help you, you've went to family, you've tried different things, it just doesn't work. You basically just gonna have to say to yourself, maybe I need to go to the doctor and get checked out for professional help. There are things in life. There's certain professions like being a cop, being a firefighter, being anything that's highly stressful. Like it's like the highest stressful jobs ever. There are things you're gonna see that you just cannot unsee. and every single day you're just thinking about it, say to yourself like, holy fuck, bro. Like this is so hard to get out of my head. And you say to yourself, yo, I need professional help. And then and there's also a group of people that just do some erratic things or things that are so irregular. Like you have somebody in your family and you're like, dude, yo, you acting weird right now, man. You acting like you're not yourself. You're impulsive. You punch the hole in the wall, or like you constantly start changing your attitude, and it's like, dude, what's wrong? And it's up to you to say, yo, I'm really going through something. Or it's like, I can't control it. It just happens. And it's like, you know what? Maybe that's that time that you have to just say to yourself, maybe seek professional help. And I know some people are stubborn with that. They're like, I don't want to do that because I don't want to be, honestly, be hooked up to pills and all this other things, giving me like 10, 9, 5 pills to take to help my anxiety or help my bipolar, help my schizophrenia, all this other stuff. And I completely understand that. But it comes to a point where if you can't really control it and it's bringing bad vibes towards your life, maybe you do need that. Maybe. That's all I'm saying. Maybe. Or, smoke some weed or something. I don't know. I'm not condoning that, but a lot of people tell me, weed really helps with my anxiety and my depression and a lot of things. And it's like, continue doing it. Find something that can help relieve that pressure positively. Not physically endangering yourself, hurting yourself. In terms of drinking, smoking certain things, doing drugs, all that stuff. That doesn't help anything, because that's what some people resort to, and it's a scary thing to see. When you see somebody that was never really a drinker start drinking a lot because of certain things that they're going through, and sometimes there's some people that you don't even know that they're going through something, but if you pay attention, sometimes you start to think to yourself, I don't know, but there's something off. And it's up to you. It's up to you. It's up to you, and it's up to that person to tell you, like, I'm really going through something. Like, I have a couple of family members that I seen them do certain things that I wasn't happy seeing, and I was saying to myself, like, what's going on with you? What's really troubling you? For making you act this way, and you have to be stern. Like, if you're a friend, family member, you have to be stern with some of them. You have to really sometimes be like a little aggressive of how much you care and want to know what they're going through, so you can help them. You can help them and direct them to certain options that they need. Like, there's one question that my boys told me. Hold on, I'm gonna pull it up right now. Hold on. It's one thing he said that was interesting. It was a question he asked me. Hold on. Yeah, he said, how do you get help for someone who is in need for mental health, for example, bipolar, but that person is an adult and is in denial? And when they go to the doctor, doc says that they are fine. Now, the main concern I have is the in denial part. There's a lot of us that deny the fact that, they have these conditions. They do. And if a doctor's telling you that they're fine, that they don't have it, if they only been to one doctor, go see other doctors. Like they said, you have to see from different lenses. You know how many times people have gotten, back problems and certain injuries, and they go to one doctor and they say it's this, and then they go to a different doctor and it's a completely different thing. And no, because if I go to one doctor and they tell me I have this, that, and then they give me treatment and it doesn't work, and I go to another doctor and it's saying, no, you have this. Like, why is the doctor diagnosing you? There's so many times that I've heard people say that, like, this other doctor told me that I had a herniated disc and everything, and I had muscles. I was gonna have muscle spasms for the rest of my life and all that stuff. And the guy was like, no, like, you have a herniated disc, yes, but it's a slip disc, and also you have to, and if you want, you could get surgery. And you having muscle spasm has nothing to do with the herniated disc at all right now. Your muscles are very tense around your back. Like, do you have bad posture? Do you do these things? And you have to get physical therapy, then you have to get surgery, and he did physical therapy after the surgery, and then he's fine now. And it's like, oh shoot. If you just stick to one lens, then you're not seeing the whole picture. I'm sorry. If you're not. You can't just go to one person and just say, they're the gospel all the time. All the time, There are certain people that you highly respect and that they're telling the truth most of the time because they keep it real just like you do. But sometimes you have to see it from different other parts. And remember, we're all guilty of that. We listen to that one person and we're like, oh, okay, you're professional in this. I'm gonna go with your word. I'm gonna stick to that word. And then when you do your own research or you have major concerns, you have to say to yourself, let me see this from a different point of view. I'm like, hey, look, I got this, I got that. Right? And you can't be in denial about it. So the answer to that question is the fact that if he's only been to one doctor or multiple doctors and they're saying that he doesn't have this condition, But if you do enough research and see that they're acting this way, then it's like, dude, so what is it? Is it you like to act this way, or are there certain events that are happening that's making you react this way? Because sometimes it may not be just bipolar. Maybe it's just certain things that they're doing keeps bringing a bad side out of them. You know, because for me to call somebody like really bipolar, like I've seen actual bipolar disorder, and it's like it's uncontrollable. But if they are uncontrollable and they constantly going back and forth with their emotions, then they possibly do have it. Maybe I don't know why the doctor is saying that they don't have it, but that's a discovery, and that's a discovery that they have to understand. That's the only thing. That is the only thing, bro. The only thing it's just dumb. It's just dumb. Them as a person need to understand that you have this issue and you have to address it. And you have to understand that you keep going through this, you're gonna put yourself in a bad situation. There may be times where he's outside or she's outside and they act this way towards somebody random. Somebody's gonna react a little differently towards that and may not think, oh, you have a mental condition or you're cuckoo crazy or something like that, And then nobody's gonna be understanding like maybe this person is kind of off, what's going on with that. Only very few people could look at it and go, this person's kind of off. Maybe we need to just help them with certain things that they're saying. Because it's like that's the only thing that we can really just say to ourselves, like, are we being in denial because we don't want to accept it? And that's what it is. Maybe it's just acceptance. And if the family and the friends are telling him, yo, dude, you're acting this way because I think you have this condition. I don't care what one doctor tells you. You have to go to multiple doctors and see. Because if you constantly keep acting this way and it's not giving you a good end result most of the time, and it's really bad towards your friends, your family, and they don't want to be around you, then maybe there's something that you're doing that's wrong, and you have to realize that. But when it's a real condition, sometimes you just have to you gotta let them make a decision too, because they're an adult and their consent matters. So that's it's real tough. It's really tough. There's actually one thing I would like to say to everybody. I have to say that like I said before with the podcast, man, it's a lot. It's a lot going through. When it comes to just being confident and just understanding that what you say can be criticized a little bit, and you will have opinions that will be different than yours. And mentally, myself, I was telling my woman, I was telling myself the other day too, and I was like, yo, dude, like, when you drop this episode, you gotta understand that you're coming from your point of view. It's not single-sided, okay? It's not just your way and the highway. And understand that there's going to be people that's going to see this. It's going to tell other people about it and say to themselves, I don't like what he said. And can I accept that? Yes. Confidently, I can accept that because it's my opinion. And that's what I'm saying about my mental health. It matters so much for me to understand that what I say and what I do matters to me. Really. It's really what it is. Like, that's just like that's the main thing that I strive for every single day. For me to accept the things that I say and to have no hesitancy on what I've said, what I've done, and to be happy that I did it. Dude, that's the ultimate goal, man. That's the ultimate goal. If I could wake up every day and push myself, if I push myself automatically because I want it, and because I know that if I succeed and I put myself in this realm, that I can help others and I can do other things for myself and it can help me also, dude, I'm gonna want that. It's gonna help me feel good because let's be honest. When you see somebody, right? Don't you ever look at them sometimes, like say you're in a social setting, and you're an observant person. You can really look at that person and go, yo, that dude's confident, man. And it rubs off of you. It rubs off of you because like, damn, man, this dude's confident. I need to be confident too. especially with the things that they're doing around the social setting that they're in. You're like, dude, man, like, I want to strive to be that confident, like, to where, like, I respect, but I don't care what other people think of me all the time. There are going to be criticisms. I mean, there are going to be critics. There's going to be people that's going to say certain things, and I pick and choose of what is right and wrong for me. And I'm like, you know what? I do realize for myself. I do realize I do this and I do that, and that's confidence. When you know the things that you're doing is wrong, like you do something to somebody, you go, yo, bro, that's not me. I messed up. My bad. I apologize for that. I was a piece of shit for that. That's confidence. That's the ultimate confidence right there. Like it feels so good to just accept the things that you do and apologize for it, and then realize I gotta better myself behind that. Like what like you break it down to yourself in a piece of paper, or just being alone in your room. What did I do to create that event and make sure that it doesn't happen again? What did I do to create that event, and what can I do to prevent it from happening again? Because you have to understand that being objective is literally the biggest objective to have in yourself. Because if you can accept everybody's opinion and understand it and respect it, if it's not blatant, if it's not a blatant disrespect to anything that you guys are talking about, and if it's not factual, remember, keep it real out here, man. Keep it real out here. Speak facts. Speak facts if you're talking about a certain subject. But meaning that if we have an opinion on things, and I can accept your opinion and understand your opinion from your point of view, dude, that's the best goal you can have for yourself. Because when you can understand your point of view and know that other people are going to perceive it differently, and you can accept that, that's dope. Because now when you go about, when you go about your actions, like towards a job, towards a meeting, when you're working with patients or anything like that, I'm telling you, you're gonna feel so confident in what you say, and people are gonna see it. People are gonna feel it. People are really gonna feel the confidence that you have, for real. Because there's no other way of displaying confidence with how you speak and how you present yourself and how your posture is, how you stand in front of people. Like no fear. You show no fear, that's it. You're unstoppable. You're an unstoppable person, because everybody wants to be immortal. Everybody wants it. Doesn't matter what circumstances you're going through. Everybody wants to be immortal. Because if nothing can stop you from doing what you want to do, nobody can tell you, yo, what you're doing isn't good enough for you. Like, no, fuck you. I like doing this because I want to do it. It's dope, man. Like, we have to tell each other and hug each other and motivate each other constantly. Like, even if you don't know the person, like social media is such a big platform. We keep putting inspirational posts out there, or we keep talking to things like, yo, man, if you haven't told yourself you look good today, now I'm telling you that. Because then that insightful quote can make you look in the mirror and go, damn, I do look good today. I kind of needed that to remind myself, like, yo, I'm good. I look good. I feel good. I'm presenting myself well. F that, man. He right. But then there's moments where you look at yourself and you say to yourself, damn, you did it. You're like, shit, I did. And you're like, you can't make that up, man. You can't make that up. It's truly inspiring to see people overcome, like, just these big endeavors that that come across their way, man. I've seen people go through crazy shit, family and all, telling me, I've been through this, I've been through that, I've come across this, and you're like, dude, how did you push yourself? And that tells you, but that goes to show you that, yo, I have to be that way. I have to be that confident in myself to push through something that's so hard, and you tell yourself every day that I don't think I'm gonna make it. And you're like, whoa, and it's like a whoa, like alert, like hold on, stop yourself and spread positivity in your mind. Look at your family, look at your kids, and say, damn, if I act this way, that's gonna put a lot of that energy on them. I have to better myself. I have to do better for my, people say do better for your kids. But when you do better for your kids, you do better for yourself. When you do better for others, sometimes it really helps you. It makes you feel good. Like me, I like giving gifts. I do. Like when it's holiday season and stuff, if you want something, I'm gonna try my best to go get it for you. It makes me feel good that I have the confidence in myself to go get you something to make you feel good because you don't have nothing. For real. And it makes me because you know that feeling of when people people don't accept you, or people don't like buy you things, and like you just feel like you're stuck in the mud. Every time you're in Thanksgiving, it's like, oh, okay, well, my family's always going through crazy things, and I'm always don't want to be around them because it doesn't make me feel good. Soon as your boy comes out, like, yo, if you don't want to go with your family, yo, come over here, we good. So then, and everybody's vibing out, everybody's having a good time. Makes you feel so good, like, damn, I need that. And then, if you see the opportunity to stay with that, you stay with that. If your woman makes you feel good, if your kids make you feel like the best person in the world, then what you have to say to yourself is this: am I gonna be better because they're making me feel better, or are you just gonna let them feel good and you're still gonna be stuck in this section of negativity, but you don't want to embrace the fact that you have something that can help you go through that? Like me, I believe in God, and I believe God puts things in front of you to help you. And it's up to you to realize it. It's really up to you to realize it. And I just have to say that, there's just a lot of things that I can really say about this topic. It's such a big thing, man. It's a big thing. It's a big battle. And I believe in the era of social media, mental health has become so much bigger than what I've ever seen it been because of cyberbullying. People want to be accepted through social media. People just craving acceptance so much to where they're not themselves. They're trying to cater to a crowd that doesn't love them back, and then they miss themselves within this world that we live in. This virtual world. And then when we go to people in real time, like people in real life, you talk to them, and sometimes they don't even know how to socially interact with you because they feel so sometimes through the internet you're so used to talking through the internet, and people just know how to talk to you very well. And when the interaction becomes very awkward, and then sometimes I believe that some people say to themselves, if I can't realistically go outside and actually interact with people, like, do I feel whole? Cause that same thing I would say to myself, like if I was born in this digital age, remember I'm a 1990s kid, so I've been through where phones, the flip phone, it wasn't that big. It was big, but it wasn't that big. People still going outside, going to parks, interacting with each other. That's good for your I'm just saying. I keep saying, but it's good for your mental health. It really is. Going outside, interacting with just random people. It feels good. It feels so much better than you going on the internet and trying to get accepted to somebody through a screen. And I believe we miss that. I believe it's a big part in how we perceive people now. Oh, you don't have 1,000 plus 2,000 followers on Instagram. What are you doing with yourself? Like, what? You're not valid? It's like, wait, hold on. Like, you already messing them up through childhood and through their teenage years because they just want to be accepted so quickly. And there's no growth behind it. There's no growth. There's no positivity. It's just who can get the most likes, who can get the most views, who can get the most people to follow them. And it's like, dude, what happened to, inspiring each other or, standing by each other through sickness and health? You know what I'm saying? Like, if I'm going through something, you got me. You don't bash me down for it. I seen a lot of people do that. It's like, oh, you soft, or you can't do this. Like, yo, bro, like, I'm going through something, man. I can't just be a man or a woman and be like, oh, I gotta suck it up because I'm an adult, or I need to grow up. Like, no. Like, in order for me to grow up, I need to overcome these circumstances that I'm going through. Like, that's the whole point of it. Come on now, it's a lot going on with that, man. And mental health is such a big topic, and it's a big thing that's going on with our society. It's really just something that we need to understand and motivate each other on. Because if we don't, man, it's just gonna be constant silence. Nobody's going to talk about anything. People are just going to go through a lot more than what they have to. It's a lot now, man. For the past 10 years, man, I have seen a lot. Well, I've seen a lot more reported suicides than ever. It's crazy because it's bad, man. It's like people just going through something and they have no oh my god, I forgot the word. Oh my god, I forgot the damn word. But they have no outlet. Thank you. They have no outlet to go to. There's no outlet to go to at times. Yes, there is suicide hotlines and all that stuff like that. But how many people know about that? And we have to spread awareness for that. It's like, if you're going through something, talk to somebody. It's always good to just tell somebody, look, man, if you're really going through something, please call me and talk to me, man. For real. Even if they're a person that you barely know, but you see that they're genuine and they're a pretty good dude, or they're a pretty good girl. You're like, dude, if you need help, just bang my line. Just bang my line. Talk to me. Just just let everything out, man. Like, I have a thing with my woman, me and her. It's called the HMO. Hear me out. It's a hear me out. So when anytime you tell your friend, yo, HMO, he's gonna sit there, shut the hell up, and you're gonna vent. You're gonna go hard. You're gonna say everything that you can, and then you're gonna give them some feedback if they want the feedback. I always do that with my girl. When I go HMO, she goes HMO. We sit down, we listen, and then if you got some insight, we got some advice, or we got something that can help them out. Now you ask, like, hey, you want me to say anything? You're like, yeah, cool. So just remember that HMO, man. You can spread that upon everybody else. It's a good thing. Like an HMO, man. Hear me out. Just hear me out. All right. Well, this concludes the second episode, man. I'm very happy about this topic. I would love to talk more about it, but I'm gonna just go ramble on, probably talking about the same thing. I'm really glad everybody was here to listen. I really appreciate y'all. It really is a topic that I really wanted to talk about. Like, it was something that was always through my mind, and I just had to do a lot more research on myself, and plus information that's been presented on the internet. But I really wanted to take myself just to talk to y'all about it, and just how do I feel about it. And honestly, it was a great thing. It was mentally draining, no pun intended, but it was mentally draining. We just have to understand that topics like this need to be talked about. I believe it does, and the fact that everybody was here to listen, man, I really appreciate y'all. And this video will be posted on YouTube tonight. I'm going to definitely upload it, and you'll be able to view it at any time that you want at your disposal, okay? I'm out, man. It's your host, ECROSSOVER, a.k.a. Ephraim. I appreciate y'all. Shout out to everybody that was in the chat right now. I really appreciate y'all. I really appreciate everybody that's viewing this and seeing this. And I'm very happy that I'm just here. And I'm going to keep going, man. I'm going to keep going. I'm going to keep giving y'all episodes. And if anybody wants to be a guest, like I said, man, just hit my DM and I'll give you the topic and we're going to talk about it in the next episode, all right? Illmindzpodcast, man. If you ain't ill, you ain't real, man. I'm out.